Guys, I cannot believe it's 2020. Happy New Year, guys. New year for movies to come. Now, comparing to 2020 and like 2019, 18, so on from before, this year doesn't feel as big as those years. Probably because like Avengers and Star Wars is like, you know, it's all over now. Now it's back to normal with some, you know, some big movies, small movies, but not as huge budget, you know what I mean? But still, 2020 has a lot of great movies to come, and I'm so pumped for these movies I'm going to talk about. But before I get to my top 10 most anticipated movies for 2020, I want to dedicate this video to the Australian firefighters because there are a lot of bushfires that's happening in Australia. Hashtag Australia is on fire, and I want to thank these firefighters for their bravery to try and stop these bushfires. And not just that, I want to dedicate this to everyone that's involved in these bushfires. Hopefully you guys are safe because it's a pretty dangerous world right now coming, and yeah, it's pretty scary. So hopefully you guys are safe from these bushfires. But let's just get to the exciting part. Let's talk about some upcoming movies that are coming out in 2020. Before I start this top 10, let's talk about some honorable mentions because there's so many movies that are coming out in 2020 that I'm interested in, and I need to name them out real quick before I get to my final top 10. So the honorable mentions are Dune, Denis Villeneuve's new movie, Venom 2, Andy Serkis is directing, and I like the first Venom, so can't wait to see what this one comes. Top Gun Maverick, Bloodshot, The New Mutants, finally that movie's getting released this year. Raya and the Last Dragon, Disney is back doing original content. Kong vs. Godzilla, Halloween Kills, Free Guy, Scoop, Ruggy, Roll, Mank, David Fincher's new movie, Birds of Prey, Fast and Furious 9, of course, every year is Fast and Furious. Morbius, which is a new Spider-Man villain spin-off movie, that's going to star Jared Leto, so interesting. Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's new movie did Shaun of the Dead and Baby Driver. Don't kill me for this one, Sonic the Hedgehog. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Sonic the Hedgehog's gonna suck ass. But from the new design and a new vibe of the trailers and Jim Carrey's overacting, hopefully it's a fun time. In the Heights, it's a Broadway adaptation based on Lin-Manuel Miranda's Broadway musical. This is before Hamilton came out, so if this movie goes well, possibly there could be a Hamilton movie because I love Hamilton. But I haven't heard nothing about In the Heights, and the movie looks fantastic. The musical sequences look amazing. It does feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda's type, you know, music. But yeah, I cannot get the song out of my head. Like, yeah, this is a block in the Heights. I want to learn the lyrics after I watch the trailer. And the final honorable mention, I'm going to start my number 10, The Eternals. Another MCU film that's coming out this year. Actually, one of the MCU films that's coming out this year. So, no taglines going like number 10, number 9. Let's just get straight into my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020. Starting number 10, we got Soul. Now, this is one of the Pixar films that's coming out this year. This is a year for Disney and Pixar coming back to their original content, and I am so pumped for that. It's probably the most pumped thing I'm excited for 2020, that Disney and Pixar are starting to make original movies again. And Soul is one of them, and this is directed by Pete Docter, who did Up and Monsters, Inc. I love those two movies, so this movie has to be good. Like, it has to be. That director is fantastic. Also, it stars Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. Love those two people. This looks like it's going to be kind of like Inside Out meets like Soul, like going perspective of what dreams people are being, according to the teaser trailer. So, I want to see how this movie goes. So, the teaser trailer came out. I want to see the actual trailer. I want to see what this movie is actually about. So, interested in Soul because it's a new Pixar film, and that's not the only Pixar film that's going to be on this list. Kind of a spoiler, but obviously Onward's going to be on this list, but where is it? We're coming back to that movie. Coming to my number 9 is No Time to Die. This is the new Bond movie that's coming out this year, and this is also the final outing for Daniel Craig as Bond. And Daniel Craig is obviously my favorite Bond. I love Casino Royale. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And also Skyfall was really good. Yeah, Quantum of Solace sucked, and Spectre was disappointing. But hopefully No Time to Die is a great conclusion to Daniel Craig, and hopefully it's a great Bond movie. To be honest, I'm not a huge Bond fan. I like the Sean Connery one. I like the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies. They're all good, but I'm not like, you know, huge on James Bond. Like, I haven't watched all the movies, only those 3 Bonds, Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. But obviously Daniel Craig is the best Bond, and most of his movies are good movies. So hopefully No Time to Die was great because the trailers of this movie look absolutely amazing. And hopefully it's a great final conclusion to Daniel Craig's role as Bond. Coming to my number 8 is a very controversial movie. Some people are not excited for it, some people are. To me, I'm a huge fan of this franchise, Bad Boys for Life. I love the first 2 Bad Boys. They're guilty pleasures of mine. They're just fun, interesting action movies that are they just know what it is. They don't take itself way too seriously. It's just fun, big action movies, and I love Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's chemistry. So, Bad Boys 5 is going to be the third interpretation. This is not directed by Michael Bay, but it does feel like it's a Michael Bay film. But obviously, this movie's not far away. It's coming out next week, and I'm so pumped for it. Please don't suck. Please just be a fun, stupid movie that knows exactly what it is like the first two movies. Coming to my number 7 goes to Black Widow. Finally, we're getting a Black Widow movie. Like, ever since Iron Man 2, like, we wanted a Black Widow movie. And at the last minute, spoiler for Endgame, that Black Widow died. Now we got her movie. This movie is meant to took place after Civil War to Infinity War. It's talking about Black Widow's basically family as well. Like, I'm excited for David Harbour in this. He looks freaking badass in the film. Also, we get the Taskmaster as a villain, which I know from the Spider-Man game. He's really cool in this trailer. And Scarlett Johansson's final, like, outing as Black Widow. So let's hope this is well deserved. Coming to number 6 is Mulan. Now, yes, I don't mind these Disney live action films. I know a lot of people hate them. To me, I enjoyed them. I obviously really enjoyed them for the most part. Yes, Maleficent sucks, The Lion King was disappointing, but Mulan looks great. It kind of felt like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets Disney, and I'm into that. I'm so into that. And Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, so seeing this interpretation, it's definitely different than I thought it's going to be. I thought it's going to be the exact same as the anime film. This is taking from the Mulan actual Urban story, like the actual Urban Legend story. Wait, Urban Legend? Why did I say Urban Legend? I meant like the actual source material. So this could be very interesting. I don't mind that Mushu is in there. I'm hoping they took this movie seriously because Mulan is probably one of the most darkest Disney movie stories. And this movie looks like it's trying to beat that. But this movie looks epic, so hopefully this movie is fantastic. And get me kind of a nostalgic feel as well. So coming to my number 5 goes to Ghostbusters Afterlife. The trailer of this movie looks absolutely different than I thought it's going to be. It's basically Stranger Things meets Ghostbusters. This could be interesting. Also, this took place after the original Ghostbusters, so it has no connections to the 2016 shitty Ghostbusters movie. This is basically kind of a reboot, but also a sequel to the first movie. Paul Rudd's in it. Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman's directing this movie, which is really interesting. I'm interested to see what his son's directing because he directed great movies like Tully. So hopefully this movie is awesome because it looks definitely different than I thought it's going to be. And Paul Rudd is in this movie. Like, what else could you want? Coming to my number 4 is another Disney Pixar film that's coming out this year, Onward, starring Tom Holland from Spider-Man and Star-Lord Chris Pratt. I'm interested. This is my most anticipated animated film that's coming out this year. I thought the trailers of the movie looked very, very interesting. It definitely took something that, you know, what Pixar can do. Original content. This movie looks like it's going to be a heartwarming, fun adventure story about these two brothers and a father. This could be a really fun movie. And it's also introducing a world, too, that's never been done before. So, Onward looks like a really fun Pixar adventure film. Hopefully, this is a good film. So, Soul versus Onward, which is going to be the best Pixar film this year. Hopefully it's not like Inside and The Good Dinosaur, like The Good Dinosaur was the least. I want them two to both be good. Coming to my number 3 goes to Wonder Woman 1984. I love the first Wonder Woman. Biggest surprise of 2017. Patty Jenkins, who directed the first Wonder Woman, is coming back for this film. I'm excited. This gives me kind of like a nostalgic feel of the 80s as well, like what the 80s looked like those times. It looks really cool. The thing I'm kind of worried about is Steve Trevor's return, like how they're going to handle that. But the action looks absolutely amazing. Gal Gadot will still kill it. She still looks hot as usual. And also, I'm really interested to see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. I want to see her take on this character. This movie looks like a lot of fun, and it gives me a nostalgic feel of the 80s, and I love the trailer. This is one of the best trailers of the entire year. So hopefully Wonder Woman 1984, you don't suck. Coming to my number 2 is my most anticipated horror film of the year, A Quiet Place Part 2. A Quiet Place is one of my favorite movies of 2018, and John Krasinski's direction with that movie was fantastic. Now he's coming back to direct the sequel, and this movie looks even more fantastic. I want to see what this world is coming. Also, Cillian Murphy's going to be in this film. Love that guy. He's a badass. I love him in a lot of movies he does. Of course, Emily Blunt and the kids are returning in the film. And I'm really interested to see what A Quiet Place Part 2 comes. It looks like another great original horror film. And I really want to see what happens basically after A Quiet Place. Is there going to be new things that's going to happen? Is there another way to get rid of these creatures? This could be an interesting movie. But my number 1, my most anticipated movie of 2020, the movie I'm so excited for 2020, is Tenet, which is Christopher Nolan's new movie. I think the concept of this film is basically the world coming backwards. Like, for example, you got punched in the face, but it didn't happen. It happened backwards, which kind of gave me the Inception vibe into it. But I gotta say, I want to see what the plot comes because I love Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors. This movie looks absolutely amazing. It definitely looks like an IMAX type film, and that's what Christopher Nolan's always great at. IMAX. And the cast is fantastic. We've got Robert Pattinson in this film, Michael Caine returning, of course. Of course, every time there's a Christopher Nolan film, I just get so excited, so I have to put this on my number one. The trailers of the movie gave me kind of a confusion, but that's what Christopher Nolan's great at. He's great at, like, keeping secrets in these films. So, Tenet, my most anticipated film for 2020. So, guys, that is it. These are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020. Happy New Year, guys, and what are your top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.